Hello? There we go. Let me just put the volume on. Welcome to Formula 7 Racing. We are live here in Tier 3 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku. What a race. Banana, I'm not sure, mate. Yawn's also asking, but I'm trying not to put quick people in the race. I mean, you and Yawn have both started in Tier 1 this season, so I'm not sure it would benefit the Tier 3 drivers for you guys to be in here. So, apologies, man. So there's a lot of drivers straight out of the pit lane. The Aston Martin of Icy being first. So as we head down towards 13, 14 and 15 on board with Icy and the Aston Martin. It's such a really nice circuit to look at, isn't it, for the drivers? That camera angle's not the right one though. So in towards turn 16 at the start of sector 3. And you are flat out for the majority of sector 3. Reaching enormous speeds. And a lot of overtakes will happen there. What I will say is we have seen a lot of crashes in towards turn 19 throughout the season. Yeah, no worries, Kells, you're all good. So in towards turn 1 for the Aston Martin driver. And then back onto the throttle as we head towards turn 2 at the left-hander. It's very easy to go wide as the Aston Martin just taps the wall here in Q1. And then into turn 3 where Oscar Piastri crashed it yesterday. So, and the Aston Martin again. It is so difficult to get that car stopped. And you can see with it being a street circuit and the F1 cars have just gotten bigger and bigger. So understandably it's a lot trickier for the drivers as he clatters into the wall again. And this is a bit of a scruffy lap from Icy, but he's still on for a flyer. And as long as you get a banker on the board here in Q1, oh, through the castle section, that is the tricky part. And the Aston Martin driver of Icy doing a nice, cool job of getting a lap on the board as we head in towards turn 13 and 14. Yellow flag already waving on the track. And that's his teammate just moving out the way. Ooh, wow. Oh, he's trying to get a little bit of a toe there. So, Ifney being a cheeky Aston Martin. So he's going to get a huge toe off his teammate all the way down. Look at this. Wow. Either great teamwork from the Aston Martins because he's already going down to the line and he moves out of the way. It's a 1:32.0. So we'll try and get on board with some of the other drivers that are coming to the line. James Gardner in the Haas will be next. His debut race last week. And he goes up to P2, 1:42.9. Then Umbra goes to 1:41.7 in the Alpine. Goes fastest here in Q1. We have a Red Bull and a Sauber coming up towards line. The Racing Bull and the Sauber. Kevin Gamer goes a 1:44.1. Theo Tanlin in the Kick Sauber, a 1:41.6 goes fastest. He is level on points with Podge for the World Drivers' Championship. Bodge is on a lap now on the mediums. Vicious Vicar on the soft, just coming in through sector 3. And then we have a Ferrari just in front. Super Skills in the Red Bull going up to P4. Super Skills has done a magnificent job this season. He's currently P3 in the Drivers' Championship. And if they didn't have drivers like Podge and Theo, who are potentially on the brink of being a Tier 2 driver, Super Skills will be right up there with some of the other drivers like Vicious Vicar and Mad G and Nimble. So Vicker up to P8, Forza Ferrari in the Red Bull. Oh, the Aston Martin of Ifni. All that work for nothing as he smashes into the bollard. He didn't get damaged though, and he is still purple sector 2. So even though he smashed into that bollard, he could potentially still get a decent lap on the board. Forza Ferrari up to P5 in that Red Bull, just behind his teammate. So I don't think it's going to be... Oh, it's still going to be a good lap this by Ifni, and he does. He goes fastest at 1:41.4. We know that deep down Ifni is a good driver. We've seen that from his time as, you know, winning Tier 3 Championship and then going up to Tier 2 and being quite a quick driver. Nimble just having connection issues at the moment. Hopefully he's able to sort that out. Sorry guys, are we allowed to see the telemetry? What do you mean? Oh yeah, but it just, for a better view of the drivers, I just turn it off. So Ifni went fastest. What about Doug in the Alpine? He's just coming in towards turn 16 at the moment. Yeah, I know, I see, it's all good. So here comes Doug in the Alpine, currently in B14, yet to set a lap time as he heads down the DRS straight. And then to the line for Doug, and it is P6 for the Alpine driver. What I would say when it comes to Baku is, because you've got so much downforce because of the straights, because you've got that huge long straight, it's quite a very fast track other than the sort of sector 2. So the drivers tend to use a lot of downforce, which in turn makes the car harder to turn. So when they're going through turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 and 4, and then they go through the castle section at turn 8, 9 and 10, the car is a lot more difficult to turn left and right, because they've got to compromise the way the car feels to achieve the desired downforce and the speed going in towards the straights. So that is why you will see the drivers struggle in parts. So to get the perfect balance, is ideally what will potentially win you races in Formula 1 Grand Prix here in Formula 7. So the drivers will be looking at the perfect balance between having that straight line speed and then having the car being able to turn in the certain sectors that they need to go through. Jabba is up to P5. Umbragos in the Alpine went fastest last we were talking, and Mad Riot just coming in towards turn 1 for his first lap here in Q1. It is full qualifying. So, Mad Riot, as we head up towards turn 2. We do have Nimble Cat in the Ferrari now on an outlap. Brilliant stuff. So, his connection issues may be resolved. And then the Williams of Mad Riot. Can he do a Carlos Sainz and get onto the front row of this grid? Yellow flags are waving. That I think that's just the Ferrari moving out of the way. Mad Riot, purple sector 1. NDMV, your race winner from last week in Mexico, looking to replicate that here in Baku. So through the castle section and beautifully executed from the Williams, and you see how tight he got to the wall on the exit of the castle section. Really good driving from Mad Riot. Oh, and he just taps that wall ever so slightly, and then over turn 16 where the Aston Martin took out the bollard. Into turn 16 at the start of sector 3 as he grips onto the steering wheel, and does he just ease off the throttle ever so slightly for the Williams, and then down the DRS straight for Mad Riot. Where is he going to put it on this grid here in Q1 with 8 minutes to go? Mad Riot goes P8. So, is the straight line speed being compromised there? Bulldog, who is a race winner. I think it was Zandvoort that he won, but I might be mistaken. Or was it Imola or Monza? Might have been Monza, actually. Yeah, it was Monza, weren't it? Where Bulldog won. So, we'll stay on board. Yeah, I see. You're absolutely right. So, we are on board with Bulldog. Let's see what the Mercedes AMG Petronas driver can do. And TG Rob up to P12 in that kick-out, but he has raced here once before. But, well, I thought he did, but I haven't got him. I haven't got him as a driver, to be honest. Let me just add him. He couldn't have raced then. That's strange. So, Bulldog went up to P7, Nimble into P15. That will currently get him through. Cinders and Podge, both the McLarens, 5.5 minutes to go. And he's still not setting a lap. 4 hours sleep. How come he had 4 hours sleep if he been out? NDMV in the Racing Bull went up to P10. Oh, you're kidding? No way. That is commitment right there from Ifnit. So Mad Riot calls it a day in Q1. Doesn't want to participate any further, and that should be enough to get him through. It is super competitive, isn't it? In terms of the time. Especially if you go from P5 all the way down to P11. "19 drivers on the grid as well." Remember, Greek Umbra Ghost is back out on mediums, so NDMV into the pit lane. James Gardner is showing up here in Baku. He's putting in the practice, and it is showing on track. He had an awful race in Mexico on his debut, but he is really lighting up this street circuit here in Baku. So Theo is improving 1.1 up. This is unbelievable. Here comes Theo Tineland down the DRS straight. When will it open? And it kicks in. It's quite far down the straight now, isn't it? And into the line. Theo Tineland a 1:40.5. And the kick Sauber goes fastest with 4 minutes to go here in Q3. MSCF1 Cinders in the Papaya McLaren is on an outlap, and so is Podge, but Podge will hit the line first. So the championship leader joint points with Theo Tineland, and his championship rival is currently the fastest man on track as the Haas driver gets out of the way. So we'll ride on board with the man that has led the championship for 11 races in a row. Coming out towards turn 2, down towards turn 3 for the Papaya McLaren with that DRS enabled, and then he's got to pull that McLaren to a stop, and then into the chicane. He goes really close to the wall as we head towards turn 4. Over the apex, very close again, just millimetres in it as we head in towards sector 2 at turn 5 and 6. The left and right hander needs to get that car turned. As we said, they're compromising the turn for the straight line speed as we head in towards turn 7. He wants to take a big chunk of that, but he didn't. Pod just lost so much time there. If you get that wrong, you can lose up to a second as we go through the castle section. And the Swedishman is probably going to get through out of Q1, but it is not going to be the fastest, especially looking at that sector 2. He's going to have a mighty sector 3 as he cuts right over the chicane there. He's got his teammate of Cinders right behind him. Mad Riot now demoted down to P12. It is all to play for. Nimblecat is in P15. He is back on an outlap. You got Kevin Gamer, you got Matt. Forza Ferrari is out in P3, 141.3. Down the DRS straight we go for Podge. Round turn 20, where Max Verstappen had that infamous crash. Down towards the line for Podge. It is a 140.9, even with the scruffy sector 2. And Cinders, who has been magnificent of late, goes up to P15. That demotes TG Rob down to P16, who is on a flying lap now. Nimblecat, SRL Matt is also on a lap as he comes around turn 8 and 9 into the castle section. Beautifully done by the Welshman, but he's took off his end plate, and that could see him be eliminated here in Q1. Kevin Gamer in the Racing Bull, Nimblecat in the Ferrari. TG Rob needs to have a tremendous lap here now with 1 minute and 20 to go as he comes through sector 1. So in towards turn 6 and then down towards turn 7 for the Kick Sauber driver, and that is a little bit deep again for TG Rowe. I've not seen anybody take a huge chunk of that apex, but is it worth taking that risk just yet? Unless you're sort of into Q3 and bidding for pole position, that is where you'll take them extra risks. You'll go and try and get them minor places around the chicanes. So TG Rob, as we head in towards turn 16 at the start of sector 3, can the Kick Sauber driver get in to Q2? 30 seconds remaining. Nimblecat is also on his lap as he heads in towards turn 3, but we ride on board with the Kick Sauber, who says he's gone purple sector 2. We'll take it for its merit as we come in towards turn 18 and 19. Flat out through here for the Sauber driver. He's got a little bit of traffic in front of him. That is the McLaren. He's going to take a little bit of slipstream from the McLaren. He's got 20 seconds to get to the lap. And that, I think, is Podge going into the pit lane. But here comes TG Rob. Has he done enough to get out of the bottom 5? He has. He's up to P4. Brilliant stuff. NDMV is going to have to improve. We could see some big names going out here in Baku for this first part of qualifying. The checkered flag has waved. Mad Riot is also on the brink. Here comes NDMV in the Racing Bull. This is going to be a huge shock. Imagine if Bulldog goes out. NDMV is up to P9. Mad Riot is now your driver at risk. Nimblecat has had to slow down and he's had to back out of his lap. He's made a mistake. Cinders is out. He's into the pit lane. Kevin Gamer is out, and SRL Matt is not improving as he's invalidated it. So Mad Riot does get through by the skin of his teeth, and it is Cinders, Kevin Gamer, Nimble and Matt that are eliminated here in Q1. Wow, that was an exciting end to that qualifying session. So I just need to put these stats in. So it is Theo Townland, who is the fastest in Q1. Then Umbragos, I need to change his name. Hodge 4 is Super Skills. Sauber MP5 of TG Rob. And then Forza Ifnir P8 is Jabba. And then James Gardner ICNDMV. Who was P13 in the Mercedes? Was it Bulldog? Yep, sorted. One sec, guys, I've just got a phone call. Right, so we are into Q2. I'm not sure who's gone out in P15. Somebody must have crashed out, so they've not been able to... Oh, Doug! Doug's not come into the second part of qualifying, so did he crash out at the end of Q1? Let me change Greek Ghost Slayer's name to Umbra Ghost. Oh, Doug. Gutted, mate. So we are in to Q2. And we are on board with DMB Super Skills. Seeing what he's made of. And he's got a little bit of traffic behind him. Is that an Alpine? That is not going to be good for him if that Alpine is also on a lap. It is. It's Umbra Ghost also on a lap. That could compromise both their qualifying sessions. So the DMB Super Skills is well in his right to stay on his own lap, but that Alpine is extremely close to the back of him. And he's pulled over. DMB Super Skills has pulled over. And Umbra Ghost goes through. But is it Icy again that is the first driver out on track? It is. The Aston Martin does like to be first out of the gates. As we head out of turn 20, down towards the line we go. And the Aston Martin will set the bank a lap, and it is a 1:42.0. Probably won't be enough to get into Q3. James Gardner, a 142.6. So these are just bank laps. Forza Ferrari, a 142.082. So 11 1,000ths in front of IC. Super Skills did pull out. That is Jabba that goes back into the pit lane. TG Rob, Umbra goes to 141.4. That, I think, is where the benchmark will need to be for Q3. Mad Riot in the Williams with his father not far behind. And the Williams just emptying the tank. Podge, a 141.0 from the championship leader. Mad Riot goes P5. What about his father as he comes around turn 20? They say experience prevails. Are we going to see that here in Baku? Down towards the line. We know how great he's been recently, and he does go in front of his son. And up to P5, the two Williams drivers. Here comes Bulldog, your Monza Grand Prix winner, down to the line, and he goes P2. Monza was terrific, actually. Oh, Nimble, you're kidding. Yeah, Nimble, that companion app, I was trying to do it the other week, and every time I was doing it, it wasn't collecting the data, but I was leaving my phone the whole race, but then it's really hard because I need to be on my phone, and then it didn't collect the data, and then it's just, it tends to be like quite a lot of work. I mean, you do a great job sorting all that out, but I know exactly what you mean. And because with mine, I can't do it on my PC because I already collect the data for the other app, so it doesn't let me do both at the same time. So it's really frustrating. So sometimes I'll be doing it and it'll collect the wrong data and it puts all the cars in the wrong position. So then I have to go through and manually change everything straight after the race before I go into to do tier 2. But anybody that looks at the companion app, just know that Nimble updates all of the companion app, by the way, guys, so that everybody can have a look at it on their phone, etc. That's exactly what I thought, Nimble. It is so much easier to do manually because you just input them all straight away instead of switching all the people around and stuff. So Bulldog set a terrific lap. DMB Super Skills in the Red Bull. Jabba in the Ferraris invalidated it. Oh, he's only on an out lap, so we'll ride on board with Jabba and let's see what he can do. I don't like to out people like this because some people like to keep it, you know, under wraps. But I do want to say a massive thank you to Nimble. We are coming to the back end of the season. This is where, as a league, the cost of the league really starts to come into play because we send all the trophies. And looking at where the trophies are going to be going, probably one to Sweden and stuff like that, and some to Portugal in tier 2. It's going to be a big cost at the end of the season, and Nimble made a huge donation over the week. So I just want to say thank you. It just goes such a long way in supporting us as a league, helping us grow, making us more of a community, and making sure that the guys can continue to get trophies. We can continue to do this. I mean, the league itself, to run it doesn't need to cost this much, but it does cost a considerable amount of money to make sure that everybody has an amazing experience. And if it wasn't for the likes of people like Nimble and people like yourselves who subscribe and things like that, it wouldn't be possible. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. And everything you all do, the subscriptions, the donations, the bits, whatever it is, even if it's just a free subscription from Prime, it all goes towards giving you guys an amazing platform to race on, so thank you.
So Jabba in the Ferrari coming out of turn 2. He went fastest to 1:41.0. So another terrific lap. So DMB Super Skills. In towards turn 16. Purple sector 2. Oh, Jonas left. So down the DRS straight towards the line, and the Red Bull driver goes P5 on the mediums. 5 minutes remaining. Ifnit, a former Tier 3 world champion in the Aston Martin, coming out of turn 2. So interestingly, I hope you all like the new logo as well. My missus, she said to me, I was showing her the trophies that we've been sending over the last few seasons, because obviously we're about to come into that end again where we send some more, and she said to me, "Oh, I like that logo, the F7R one." She said, "I've not seen that one before." I said, "Yeah, we used it for a season in, or half a season in season 10, season 9, something like that." And she said, "Oh, I like that logo a lot better than the one you have now." So I thought, okay, so I started working on it the other day. You know, doing a little shade here, a little shadow here, a little background, making it sort of pop, and with the red for realistic and the blue for realistic and the red for racing. So I worked on it for a couple of days, so I'm glad everybody likes it. Cheers, Kels. So that logo will probably be on the trophies that we send at the end of this season. So Ifnit to the line, goes fastest, a 1:40.8. Podge retires, calls it a day in Q2. NDMV on an outlap, who has forgot a setup. So his pace is not going to be there as much as it should be with him not putting a setup on. Oh, Kels, yeah, absolutely we send trophies. We send a trophy to all the Drivers' Champions from each tier, and we send a trophy to all the Constructors' Champions from each tier as well. And we have sent trophies to Driver of the Year as well. But the legit trophies, we send them all around the world. Doesn't matter where you live. And we can only do that because of this amazing community. So Icy is on another lap. Mad Riot in the Williams is slightly down. Forza Ferrari's not improving. Umbra Ghost just heading it towards the line. Casper, that will... Oh, Umbra Ghost goes fastest. That will be coming into play shortly, all these redeemed racing incident and all that. Because one of my sons has just got a PC, and I'm going to be looking at seeing what I can do on race day in terms of using the PC for streaming. Yeah, it just brings up Charles Leclerc incident on the screen, but only when I'm streaming for the PC. TG Rob is out. TG Rob is out. NDMV without that setup is going to try and improve. Matt G is on the brink again. He is being very risky here today. Banana, I'm not sure, but the guy that built it, I paid somebody to build the whole thing, including all the parts that he put on. And I just said to him, build me something that I can use for top quality streaming, commentating, gaming, the lot. So he built it, and it was for his birthday, but I said I'll be using it. Icy has front wing damage. Oh, and he goes up to P7. Mad Riot is out. What about NDMV?
Bad idea. He's not like a PC builder from a shop. He's a friend that I know. NDMV goes up to P6. So Theo will get through. It is TG Rob, both Williams and the Forza Ferrari that goes out. So that looks like it is it. And Theo goes fastest. It should be good enough for streams because he said it's got the best NVIDIA chip on the market, barring the top one. It's the second one down. It's got like 5080 or something, or whatever it is, and it's got all these other stuff in it. I told him what I wanted it for. For my son, obviously, and for me to potentially stream high quality races and all that sort of stuff. So that's what he's built it for. But he wasn't it wasn't like a shop that built it. It was a friend of my mum's that ended up building it. But I'll send you everything and let me know what you think. So that is it for Q2. But if it does work, I'd love to get like overlays onto the races. You know, like proper F1 overlays onto the races. So this is a 5080. No, I don't want to go mad with it, but to make it look really professional and everything would be really cool. All the proper F1 overlays and that. So, Theo Townland, I just need to put this into the system. It is Theo Townland that goes fastest, then Umbra Ghost, Ifni, Jabba. Wait. Oh. No, that's Jabba, not TG Rob. Jabba. Then Podge, James Gardner, NDMV, Bulldog and Icy. And the Red Bull in P10 is Super Skills. And then Forza Ferrari, Mad G, Vicious Vicar and TG Rob. A lot of money, mate. It was, it's his 16th birthday, so it was like a big one, but obviously I got a discount on it because the guy actually works in building PCs in a shop, but then he does stuff on the side, so I got him to build it on the side as like a side project, and I paid him for that, but I've been paying him for a few months. I didn't just hand out the money, you know. I've been paying him for a few months. So, DMB Super Skills. No. I mean, not renting it. I didn't get it. I only picked it up last week on the 18th. I paid it up until I picked it up. Do you know what I mean? So I started paying it like 5 months ago. And then picked it up 5 days ago, whatever it was. So all the drivers are straight on an out lap, 10 minutes to go. But yeah, I'll send you the stuff. Yeah, exactly, Forza. I don't even know what I'm going on about. So, the Kick Sauber is the first driver out on track, Theo Thailand. So, down towards turn 1, on board with the Kick Sauber driver, who is equal on points with the championship leader going in to this morning's race. In towards 2, a little bit deep, but still a nice line through there. DRS enabled, rear wing open, and the Kick Sauber heads in towards turn 3. You need to be careful here because you're letting go of the DRS, you're letting go of the battery, so it's very easy to go deep and into the wall like Oscar Piastri did yesterday. Around turn 4, and then the Sauber back onto the throttle, and then the left and right hander at turn 5 and 6 as we head in towards sector 2. This bit you do want to take quite a bit of a chunk of this apex like Theo did there and get a nice turn in with that steering wheel as we head in towards turn 8 of the castle section. That is super close from the Sauber, but he makes it work as we head around turn 12. And then you go slightly uphill and then back down. The evolution, what's the bloody word for it? Evolution, not evolution. I can't remember. Evolution, it's not evolution, is it? So around turn 16 at the start of sector 3. And the Sauber driver, I'm pretty sure, will set the benchmark elevation. That's it. Thank you. The elevation around Baku is very deceiving. You don't really get to see the elevation whilst watching it on track. Thank you, guys. 140.5 for the Kick Sauber. James Gardner will be next. To the line at 141.3. The Mercedes of Bulldog at 148.8. We are heating up here in Baku. Bodge goes P3 at 141.2. The Racing Bull of NDMV at 148.6. And then Super Skills goes up to P4. Umbra Ghost in the Alpine. We have Ifni in the Aston Martin that will be next. The former world champion goes P5 with a 141.2. And then it will be Umbra Ghost, who has shown tremendous pace as of late as he comes around to 19 and 20 down towards the start-finish line. And the Alpine of Umbra Ghost is not here to play around as he goes fastest in Q3. 7 minutes to go and he is on provisional pole. The Greek driver with a fantastic lap, a 140.1 in our Tier 3 division. So just under 6 minutes remaining. Jabber is on an outlap. James Gardner in the Haas. So let's have a look at the straight line speeds of these drivers. So the top straight line speed is from Icy in the Aston Martin, and the lowest straight line speed is the Ferrari of Jabber, but I'm guessing that's because he hasn't set a lap yet. So we'll look at another one, and it is Podge Racing. It has the lowest straight line speed of any driver at the moment, and Icy has the fastest. So it's just finding the balance between the both of them. And James Gardner is on another lap. I think he's just on another outlap. James Gardner has been a great addition to the grid from last week. He was extremely clean. He was fair on track. He had some great battles. And he tried to make it to the end of the race as well, even though he wasn't doing so well. So, really, James is an older driver as well. Not like old, just not a young kid. So he knows he just wants to come here, race and enjoy it like the rest of us. So he'll absolutely fit in with Tier 3. So Jabber coming out of Turn 3 down towards Turn 4 in that Scuderia Ferrari. Just a quick one whilst all the drivers are in the pit lane as well. My goodness, Max Verstappen is something else, isn't he? He's absolutely unbelievable. Imagine if he comes back to win the Drivers' Championship. Like, he's just incredible, the driver that he is. If you look at where his teammates are and everything, and I know they say that, well, the car's built for Max. It is built for Max. But he's still got to drive it. And you look at where the pace is. I mean, you look at the Mercedes, for example. That was built for Lewis Hamilton. But, you know, Valtteri Bottas still got on the podium race after race. So to see where his teammates are and to see where Max is truly remarkable. And I never used to like Max Verstappen. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was never a fan of him. I think that a lot of that was down to 2021, but I just weren't a fan of him. I don't know what it is, but I love Max now. I love him. Absolutely love him. I don't know what it is about him. I'm still a Lewis Hamilton fan. Everybody knows that. But it's just Max. I don't know what it is. I think his driving speaks for himself. And I think him showing how good he really is and his attitude and the fact that he's not fighting with Lewis too much anymore is probably a big part of it. But I want Max to come back and win this championship. And I never thought I'd say that. He has matured a lot. So the drivers are back out for their final runs here in Q3. Oh, he runs wide there. Yeah, I mean, Alvaro, he's probably one of the best drivers that's ever graced the Formula 1 track. Obviously, he's up there with the Schumachers and the Hamiltons and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and the fact that he just, even when he's not racing on track, he's racing online, you know? So, NDMV is now on a lap. The driver from Vietnam. He's on purple sector 1. This is it. 2 minutes to go to determine who will get pole position, which might be a crucial part. You know who else I really like as well? And everybody knows that I made a comment a couple of months ago saying that he wasn't a good commentator. How wrong was I? Nico Rosberg, my God. I was so wrong. And I can admit when I was wrong, when I'm wrong. I was so wrong about Nico Rosberg. He is brilliant. So around turn 20 we go. Here comes the Racing Bull of NDMV for his final run here in Baku. Can he stick it on provisional pole? He can. It's a 140.0. And NDMV is on pole position. Theo Tanland is on a lap. Icy in the Aston Martin. James Gardner in the Haas. Who is going to come through first? I think it is Icy. No, that's Ifnit. It is James Gardner in the Haas that will be next. He's half a second down though, so he's not improving. He's not on a lap. He's just going to try and make it to the line. So, who will be the next driver? It is going to be Theo Tanland. He's also not using his battery. I don't think he's on a flyer. He is using his battery, sorry. So as we head to the final couple of corners, can the Swedishman who leads, well, who is joint in the Drivers' Championship with his teammate, the checkered flag has waved here in Azerbaijan. NDMV is currently on pole. Umbra Ghost will not improve. Here comes Theo Tanland. James Gardner has missed the checkered flag, so he will not be able to improve. Theo Tanland comes around turn 20, down towards the start-finish line. Here comes Theo, and he goes provisional pole, the 139.9. Icy will be next. He's invalidated. He's not going to improve. So we go on board with NDMV. He's on an in-lap, so he's not going to find any more. Then Super Skills in the Red Bull. He has a McLaren right on his tail. Here comes Super Skills in the Oracle Red Bull. The Papaya McLaren right behind him. Around turn 19 and 20 we go. And the Englishman followed by the Swedishman as we head down the long straight, and it is an eternity to the line. Super Skills goes P4, Podge takes it off him and goes P4, and then the Ferrari of Jabba will be next. He goes P5. The Aston Martin of Ifnir, Bulldog in the Mercedes will be next. Bulldog goes P5. Ifnir will be the final driver to the line, but it is Theo Tanland that's currently on provisional pole, and Ifnir at 140.8 goes P8, and it is Theo Tanland here in round 15 that takes pole position. He is joint on points with Podge for the Drivers' Championship, but he has got 1 foot ahead now. So 1 second guys, you know I need to put the stats in. So, Theo Tanland in P1, NDMV, Umbra Ghost, and then Podge, Bulldog in the Mercedes in P5, then P6 in the Ferrari of Jabba, then we have P7 in the Red Bull of Super Skills, and then P8 of Ifnit, Icy, and James Gardner. There we go, brilliant stuff. Let's go motor racing. Toto, it's called a motor race. No, Michael, this is so not right. Let's hope we don't have any incidents. So, here we go. I'm so excited. I love it. I love it. Right, let's see what tyres everybody's on. Oh, that's a nice mix. Phil and NDMV mediums, Umbra and Podge on hards. Wow, it's just a complete mix of medium and hards. Let's go motor racing. Toto, it's called a motor race. It's called motor racing. I can't even remember what he says. Here we go, guys. All tune in. This is gonna. It's such a short run up to turn 1 as well. You got to be so quick. Podge DSQ. It's so fun. Oh god. Here we go. So many good drivers. So many amazing drivers on the track as they all line up. Here we go. This is it for round 15 here in Tier 3 at Formula 7 Racing. It is powered by Sim Racing Setups. And it is lights out and away we go. Theo got a great start in the kicks out. He's going to go around the outside of Turn 1. Turn 1 NDMV. Going up the inside. Then we have Bulldog that's up a position in the Mercedes. Jabber in the Ferrari coming around the outside of Turn 2. The McLaren is there at Podge. There is front wings and end plates going everywhere. That is Yawn. Going through the grid, that is Doug at the back. Forza Ferrari is down 9 places. And there is a safety car at the start of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. No front wing for Forza. So drama, TG Rob, 10-second time penalty for colliding with Mad G. The safety car is out. It took 2 corners. So this is going to group the pack up and we can go through and see what's going on. So Theo Tarnland is up 1 position. Sorry, he stays. Let's start it again. Theo Tarnland is still in pole position in P1. NDMV is in P2. Number goes in P3. So no changes to the top 3. Bulldog is up 1 position and in front of Podge. That is absolutely massive. And then Jabba and Super Skill stay in position. James Gardner is up 2 and Ifney is down 1. Mad Wright is up 2 and TG Rob is up 3. Cinders up 4 in that McLaren and Vicious Vicar staying in position. Icy down 5. Nimble out 3. Yawn up 4. Matt up 2. Kevin Gamer down 1. Doug down 4. And Forza Ferrari down 9. We have Vicious Vicar and Icy and Kevin Gamer all with slight front wing damage. Or significant front wing damage, we do not know. So Icy, Vicious Vicar all into the pit lane. Icy picking up a 10-second time penalty. My goodness me. This is not turning into the Grand Prix that Icy would have wanted at the moment. So the safety car is out. And we can start to relax a little bit. We only got 2 corners of racing before that safety car came out. The real F1 starts at 12 o'clock, so we better hurry up. It's nice to race Baku and then watch Baku though. Really interesting race already. So will the safety car be in this lap? I hope so. Let us get back to the racing. Come on. FIA, bring him in. He is. So the safety car is back in and we're going to go racing. So Theo will just slow it down a little bit. He doesn't want to be caught by the safety car going into the pit lane and it's slowing his Sauber car down. And the drivers need to be careful flying around turn 20. Wait, the safety car isn't going in. Oh, it's staying out for another lap. Oh, God. I thought the safety car was going in then. I know, Alvaro. TG Rob is into the pit lane. I'm guessing he's going to get rid of that 10-second time penalty. It's a pretty smart move, really. It's under the safety car. Like, just get rid of the time penalty and then it won't cost you any time. Yeah, there we go. It's like waiting for an eternity when you've got a time penalty. But he's also getting a front wing change, so this safety car staying out for another lap has been hugely beneficial for him. Icy has gone through on Vicious Vicar. Not sure what happened there. Vicious Vicar is going to have to go back through. So Icy causing a few problems there, and Rob retires. Rob's retired. Not sure what happened there. Really unfortunate for Rob. Hopefully that doesn't affect the safety car going in this lap. Oh, NDMV going past Field Townland. The drivers need to be careful here. Safety car is in this lap. Theo will have to back out a little bit from that safety car in front. The drivers want to make sure they don't get too close to each other. No point picking up unnecessary front wing damage. That is extremely close, that. Where's the disaster waiting to happen? There we go, it's already happened at the back. And there's carnage going on at the back. And I'm just going to see if anybody else has got damage now. Yeah, Cinders, Kevin Gamer and ICO with damage. Umbragos is going past NDMV. What are you guys doing? Come on, guys. Get into the line. The safety guy's got the restart is really slow. Wow. So Theo Townland is going to get us underway when he does go. He's piling these up a lot. And there he goes, Theo Townland, going extremely slow, and then off he goes. And NDMV will chase him down. Umbragos in the Alpine will try and go around the outsiders, go in towards turn 1. There's absolute carnage at the back. Umbragos will go around the outside of the Racing Bull, and he's been pushed off the track. And then Bulldog in the Mercedes is now through as we go in towards turn 2. Wheel to wheel with the Alpine and the Mercedes. And the Alpine is into the wall. The McLaren's behind him. That is Podge and Jabba as they go past the Alpine, who is now losing positions and dropping like a stone. They're going to go 2 wide, 3 wide, down in towards turn 3 as they go single file momentarily. And Ifney is through on James Gardner. We hear wings and end plates flying everywhere. We hear cars clattering into the walls, and that is a yellow flag, and that is SRL Matt that is out of this Grand Prix. Yellow flag again. Wow, what is going on here in Baku? So it was a VSC, and that is Doug in the Alpine right at the back. So we are going racing once more. Field Thailand leads to NDMV. Bulldog. I'm not really sure what's going on. I think the VSC is still out. But this is a little bit ridiculous. So when the yellow flag goes in, the drivers need to be careful not to get that drive through. Hodge can see his championship rival leading. Here we go. And Ifni, that is DRS enabled. We go back racing. Umbra goes, peels off into the pit lane. And that is James Gardner through. And that is Umbra Ghost and Mad Riot that peel off into the pit lane. So damage for them too. And NDMV will chase down at Field Townland. So we need a little bit of racing now. Oh, Field Townland's hit the wall. Bulldog in the Mercedes might have hit the back of Field Townland as Jabber goes through. And that is the Ferrari of Jabber on NDMV. Side by side go the Racing Bull and the Scuderia in towards turn 4 and 5. And they do collide again and they are round. Oh my goodness me, Podge is involved in it. The championship leader, 10-second time penalty for a collision, and it's another safety car. This is quite incredible. Are we gonna miss the actual race here? There's just M plates and front wings going everywhere. 10-second time penalties for everybody. What is going on here? What is actually going on? Come on, guys. Sort it out, guys. Come on now. I think it is, yeah, or 5th. Everyone's into the pit lane. Podge stays out. Podge just got a missing end plate though, no? I'm surprised he didn't pit. Yeah, he's got a missing end plate, so I'm surprised he didn't pit under the safety car. Not exactly who did. Nearly all the drivers are in the pit lane now. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know if Podge is AI. But I'm surprised he's not gone in to get that front wing changed. Yeah, and he's got that penalty. This is really bad for Podge. Oh, Theo in the Sauber has lost a few places. This is not a good race for the championship leaders. It really isn't. The championship leaders are having an awful Grand Prix here. Yeah, no. Icy's got side pod damage as well. Front wing damage for Kevin Gamer, front wing damage for Podge. So Pod just stayed out again, so he is not hitting. I'm trying to just figure out what's going on here. So, Podge leads. Yeah, reserves are allowed. Kevin is P5, but he does have front wing damage. The safety car should be in this lap. It will be Podge that gets us underway. There we go, safety car is back in, we're going to go racing. We've had 2 safety cars and 1 VSC, so we can only have 2 more for the remaining 19 laps. So, Podge will lead us this time. And James Gardner right on his tail. Umbra goes to Theo, who started first and second. So off we go under the safety car restart. Podge does get a really good start as we head in towards turn 1. The McLaren driver still in the lead. James Gardner behind him. He is struggling though. That is Bulldog on Vicious Vicar up the inside. And then Theo Timeline goes for a move as well. He does lock wheels with the Ferrari of Jabba. And they are side by side once again as they nearly go into the back of Vicious Vicar. And twice he hits the back of Vicious Vicar. Theo Timeline trying to get his foot down early and to get past the Williams driver, and the Sauber is through and back up to P8. Mad Riot is through on Nimble Cat and the Ferrari. There's a missing end plate there again. I don't know who that was, but NDMV is going late, and Nimble Cat might have gone into the wall there as he goes side by side with NDMV, who goes around the outside now, tries to go for that late move. And Nimble Cat just fends him off as now Cinders and the McLaren goes for a move in towards turn 4 and 5. James Gardner and Yorn are going at it. The Mercedes and the Haas at the front. The Mercedes is through and up to P2. Into the castle section we go. DMB and Forza Ferrari, the 2 Red Bulls, having a tremendous race, and that is Kevin Gamer that is out in the castle section. Bulldog has now got a missing end plate again, and Kevin Gamer loses it at the part where you did not want to lose it in Vicious Vicar, and that is Mad Riot. And Umbra goes into the wall, and Mad Riot is now into P12. NDMV, oh, NDMV's clattered into Mad Riot. And NDMV's going up the inside again, and Mad Riot's into the wall. NDMV, Cinders in the McLaren. Here comes Icy on Cinders, goes late on the brakes, smashes into the back of NDMV. Wow. What is going on? Bulldog is out, and that is... Oh my goodness me. I have no words. It is literally like a Royal Rumble. More drivers into the pit lane, and it is only a VSC. There can only be one more yellow flag. Yeah.
You know what? You always get that one race every season that you're like, oh my God, what has happened here? And Baku is turning into that race. I'm going to be honest, this is going to be pushing it close to the actual F1. Yeah, deadly as soon as the F1 race is over. And we go back racing, and now here comes James Gardner. Absolutely catapulting. Podge is out. Podge is out of VSC. How has Podge gone out? Oh my goodness. So there can be no more yellow flags. And this might be the race that loses Podge the championship lead for the first time in 15 weeks. So, luckily for us, there can be no more yellow flags. Drive through for NDMV, and that might be it for his race. Jorn chases down James Gardner. It is Super Skills, Forza Ferrari. Oh, and that was Icy that went into the wall. Doug, Nimblecat are in really strong positions. And here comes Forza Ferrari on his teammate, the two Red Bulls, in towards turn 16 we go. And now we can get down to the racing, 16 laps remaining. James Gardner on his second race here in Tier 3 leads the race. Super Skills chasing down Jorn into the slipstream. Here comes Forza Ferrari. What about Icy? Theo Tineland, who will be the championship leader, currently in P5. Here comes MSC F1 Cinders. Jorn is into the pit lane. There was a bit of end play. I think that was from Icy. Here comes the Papaya, and the Aston Martin is going to head in towards the pit lane. He's got no front wing. So once again, there's going to be no safety car. In comes Doug on the inside of the McLaren. They lock wheels. The McLaren turns in. The Alpine tries to squeeze through, but he's not given the space. And Cinders stays ahead. Jorn and Icy into the pit lane. Here comes Mad Riot through on Kevin Gamer, who's down to P12. But Mad Riot in the Williams is now into P10 after overtaking the drivers that have pitted. There goes Doug with that DRS that goes through on Cinders. The Alpine driver is up to P6. What a Grand Prix he's having. It is James Gardner that leads to Super Skills and Forza Ferrari in P2 and P3. Theo Tineland is chasing him down. Then comes Vicious Vicar, Doug, Cinders, Nimble, Jorn, Mad Riot, Kev Gamer, Jabber Ifney, Icy, NDMV and Umbra Ghost. 4 DNFs, 5 yellow flags. Wow, I have no words for what we've seen in the opening 11 laps. James Gardner does have slight front wing damage as well. According to my system, it is very easy to get around a circuit like this, but there'll be no more yellow flags. Jorn is not Tier 3, he will be retiring before the end of the race. Here comes Super Skills, and he knows James Gardner has that front wing damage. He's into the slipstream, he's going to get DRS. The Red Bull driver of Super Skills is going to be your race leader on lap 11. The Red Bull is through. James Gardner peels off into the pit lane, and it is a Red Bull 1-2 on lap 12. James Gardner is going to get that front wing replaced and some fresh tyres till the end of this Grand Prix. Vicious Vicar is up to P4.
Doug will now be promoted to P5, and then Cinders and Nimble Cat, some incredible names in for some high point here in Baku. Forza Ferrari trying to stay on his teammate. He's got that DRS. Theo does just need to be patient now. He's been lucky to escape everything. Mad Riot with the fastest lap of the race. The drivers are quite spread out. What about Ifni on Jabba, the Ferrari driver in P12? Ifni in P13, but he loses it. He loses the rears, and into the exit of the pit lane he goes. And just as he was closing the gap on Jabba, Kevin Gamer in P11, but he does have a missing M plate. Yawn on the back of Nimblecat. I hope, for his sake, that he stays out of trouble. So the Ferrari and Nimble in P7. This is fantastic news for the Ferrari. Oh, please don't. Yawn, come on. Just chill. So, Forza Ferrari 2.2 behind Super Skills. Yawn is through. I think Nimble would probably just get out of the way there and be like, no, I'm not losing a position to somebody that's got to retire at the end. So, and he's a second clear of James Gardner, but James Gardner is on fresh tyres, and then they've got a nice 8-second gap to Mad Riot behind. So they are in strong positions. Nimblecat, who got a podium just a couple of weeks ago, and that is Forza Ferrari into the pit lane. Jabba with a 3-second time penalty. I'm not sure why Forza's pitting. He's not got damage. Is he just actually pitting to get off their mediums? He is. Onto the hard compound till the end of the race. DMB Super Skills, who started on the hards, they're only on 18% wear. Now Doug is up to P4. Everybody being promoted up a position. Yawn hits the wall. Nimblecat is through. And the Ferrari driver wheel to wheel now with the Red Bull of Forza Ferrari. And James Gardner is there. The Red Bull goes up the inside. James Gardner will try and go around the outside. The Haas and the Red Bull chasing down that Ferrari as we head in towards turn 3. They've got DRS. Yawn is through on Cinders in towards turn 3. And here comes James Gardner. Forza Ferrari on them fresh hard compound tyres. Same as James Gardner. And Nimblecat, and the Ferrari gets a clout up the backside. And did James Gardner just pick up wing damage by smashing into the back of that Scuderia? I think he might have done. And now Forza Ferrari will have easy pickings. So Nimble knows he has to defend for his life. So front wing damage for James Gardner, Mad G, Kevin Gamer and Icy at the moment. So James Gardner, who was in a strong position after pitting for them fresh hards, will find it a bit tougher now. Yellow flag, that is Icy, that is out in the castle section, but there can be no more safety cars. So Icy is out. Yawn into the slipstream of Doug, who peels off into the pit lane. So Doug is now getting off their mediums and on to fresh hards. Jabber in the Ferrari on the back of Kevin Gamer into the slipstream. Moves over to the left hand side. He'll get that rear wing open. The Ferrari only clatters in to the Racing Bull, even with space to fit 20 cars side by side. They still manage to touch each other, and the Racing Bull goes deep. The Ferrari switches it back, and Jabba says thank you very much. Forza Ferrari on Nimble up the inside. Nimble gives him the space. Forza Ferrari is just as respectful. Nimble backs out. And still in P7 for the Ferrari. This is how Nimble got a podium not so long ago. Keeping it clean, staying till the end. And that is what he's doing here. Another yellow flag. Here comes Ifni on Kevin Gamer up the inside of turn 5 and 6. Kevin Gamer just stays ahead. Will the Aston Martin? No, he backs out there. So good racing. Oh, Kevin Gamer is into the wall again at the castle section. That is the second time this morning that he's done that.
Theo Townland 3.4. Umber Ghost is out in the pit lane, so that is it for him. Wow, here comes Forza Ferrari chasing down MSC F1 Cinders. Wow, this is crazy. So, tyres, 13 laps. They're both on the same strategy, Super Skills and Theo at the moment. Vicious Vic on 13 lap old hards. But the hards look pretty decent around here, I'm not going to lie. Like, looking at the tyre wear, 28% for them 9 lap old hards. Theo Townland does have slight front wing damage according to my telemetry. So Theo Townland does have front wing damage. So that is interesting. So, MSC F1 Cinders is in the pit lane. That means Nimble is up to P6. Doug on Kevin Gamer is through, and Ifney is through on Jabba. So the Aston Martin driver is through on the Ferrari. Now here comes Doug in the Alpine. He's going to go and get his second overtake, but the Ferrari goes later on the brakes, and now Doug will swing it up the inside and into P9. Jabba, nothing he can do about that. Kevin Gamer maybe looking for an overtake. And Cinders picking up our 10-second time penalty in the exit of the pit lane. James Gardner now down to P12. Ifney is being chased by Doug as we head in towards turn 3. And it's anybody's guess how the remainder of this race is going to go. Vicious Vicar is in a podium position. Remember, Jon will not finish the race. Forza Ferrari and Nimble. Mad G with slight front wing damage. So is Theo. So is Kevin Gamer. And Theo hits the wall again there. What about Doug? In through the castle section. The track is really spread out now. And we cannot have another yellow flag, another safety car, whatever you might be needing. It will not come. With 9 laps to go. 25 minutes till the real F1 race is on. Here comes James Gardner, and he'll have to be patient to get through on Kevin Gamer. All the drivers that finish now will finish in the points. There was no more safety cars after lap 11, Josh. James Gardner with a beautiful overtake on Kevin Gamer before the DRS even kicked in. Doug on Ifney into the slipstream, the Alpine or the Aston Martin. Here comes Doug. He's up to P8, and the Aston Martin driver, the former world champion, has to slot in behind Doug. James Gardner is through on Jabba, who goes into the pit lane. Mad Riot is now on the brink of Nimble Cat. Ifney in the Aston Martin, chasing down Doug in the Alpine. NDMV is up to P13. Jabba with that new front wing. Theo with slight front wing damage, is 3.5 seconds behind Super Skills, who could potentially be on for a race victory. Vicious Vicar on for a podium. Forza Ferrari does have fresh hard tyres though, so we'll see what happens till the end of this Grand Prix. Maggi on my system has slight front wing damage, but I do not know.
Doug is on for an awesome strategy, but he has to fend off the likes of Ifni behind. Yellow flag again. Oh, who is that? That is Kevin Gamer at the castle section again. And he's got no front wing, and that is the third time at the castle section. Jon goes through on Vicious Vicar with that DRS. Vicious Vicar will not be wanting to race that Mercedes at all. He'll be just letting him go, knowing that he's got to retire. DMB Super Skills 3 seconds into the lead. Kev 2, I am stupid. I am stupid. What about Nimble? Oh, and the Mad Riot. So Mad Riot is up to P6, Nimble in P7. Two absolute goats here in Formula 7. Here comes Ifnit. Remember, Super Skills and Theo Tanland are both on the same strategy. They have both pitted, and looking at the tyre choices, 37% on them hards and only 8 to 9 laps to go. Here comes Ifni on Doug into the slipstream, does go for the move, and the Aston Martin is back up to P8, brings that car to a stop to make that chicane, and executed perfectly from the Aston Martin driver. Nicely done. Doug knows what he needs to do at this stage in the race. So, DMB Super Skills into the pit lane. He is into the pits. Theo Tanland is now your race leader. So, Super Skills will go on to fresh mediums till the end of this Grand Prix with 7 to go. Here comes Jon. Vicious Vicar is also into the pit lane. Wow. Forza Ferrari already pitted, so he will stay out. DMB Super Skills will be coming out on fresh mediums in P3. He's now in front of his teammates. So, Forza went for the undercut. It did not work. So, DMB Super Skills, he's 13 seconds behind Theo Tanland. Vicious Vicar is into the pit lane. I don't know how this race is going to finish. So Theo Tanland has slight front wing damage and his tyres are on 42%. Here comes the Haas and the Aston Martin, nothing to separate them. Ifni squeezes through and James Gardner has to back out. MSCF1 Cinders is also joining the action. He wants a piece of the fun. But yeah, Mad G with slight front wing damage, Theo Tanland with slight front wing damage and 43% wear on them tyres. DMB Super Skills is on the chase. A really thrilling race. And that is James Gardner that is through on Ifnit. What about Vicious Vicar on Nimblecat? These two have gone at it like cat and mouse for the last few rounds. Super Skills is already catching up to Jon in that Mercedes. And Jon, the second time he slipped through there, and there he just moves out of the way for DMB Super Skills. Great racing. Doesn't want to get involved in what might be a challenge for the win. Vicious Vicar into the slipstream with Nimblecat. Moves over to the left-hand side. DRS enabled. And the Williams is through on that Ferrari. Can Nimble respond? Around turn one they go. Struggling to hold on to that car, especially with the wear on them tyres now starting to deteriorate. Ifni into the pits. Oh, and that is James Gardner on Doug, and he does get the moving up to P8. A great exit out of turn 2. And that is how it's done. So 9.9 is the gap for DMB Super Skills to chase down Theo Townland. Jabba is out. Let's see. It looks like he's retired on track through the castle section. That might be the second time he's done that. I hope not. Or is he retired in the pit lane? I think he's retired in the pit lane. No worries, Jabba. Ah, really unfortunate for him. I thought he was having a good race, and every finish is now a point. So the track is way spread out. And Cinders does have a time penalty, but he is catching up to Doug. And Doug just wants to stay with James Gardner. Yawn is into the pit lane. And retires, thank you very much, Yawn. So that leaves the two Red Bulls in the podiums. Ah, no worries, Has. No worries, mate. I forgot you had work. All good. All good. Enjoy it, mate. So Mad Riot is into the pit lane. Is he going to get that front wing fixed? Nimble now up to P5. Vicious Vicar in P4. But it is the two Red Bulls. And DMB Super Skills is still 8 seconds behind Theo Townland with 5 laps to go. Theo Townland's hard tyres 49%. Can he catch him? That will be the question. Here comes James Gardner on Doug. As they go around turn 3. Really competitive between the pair of them and Cinders, who is also there. But remember, Theo Townland does have front wing damage and 50% wear on them hard compound tyres. And through the castle section they go. It's such a tricky circuit, it really is. So I have complete and utter respect for these drivers. Ooh, and James Gardner goes really late on the brakes there. And that could have ended in disaster. DMB Super Skills is 6.8 behind Theo Townland. It is getting to the point where he might miss that lead. Yeah, I think so, yeah. So here comes James Gardner and MFCF1 Cinders. Look at the straight line speed of that McLaren. He is absolutely flying. And that is James Gardner that peels off into the pit lane. And now Cinders will chase down Doug. James Gardner pitting with 4 laps to go. That is surprising for the Haas. He was in a pretty good position. 6 seconds is the gap for DMB Super Skills to Theo Townland. Is he going to catch him? We have some big names, but we do have 8 DNFs in this Grand Prix, which is way more than we would have liked. And the Azerbaijan Grand Prix is going to be on shortly. And the track is really spread out. Vicious Vicar is 9 seconds to Forza Ferrari. And let's look at the tyres. Forza Ferrari 35% wear on them hards. Theo Townland now 55%. The gap is 5.3. This is going to be extremely close. I think DMB Super Skills potentially catches up to Theo Townland on the very last lap, but we will see. Here comes Cinders and Mad Riot. Mad Riot with that now fixed front wing and fresh soft compound tyres. He'll be very, very pacey in that Williams. Ifney coming through the castle section. Kevin Gamer is going to finish inside the point. DMB 4.7. This is for a race victory. I'm pretty sure it could be his first. I know he's had podiums before. It needs to disperse of this McLaren now being in front. 12% already for them soft compounds, and that is MFCF1 Cinders and Doug going at it. 4 seconds for DMB Super Skills, and that is Mad Riot going up the inside, hits Cinders, has to back out. Was the space left, or did he go for the move that wasn't there? We don't know. NDMV sets the fastest lap of this race. DMB Super Skills, 3.7 is the gap. I'm telling you, this is going to go down to the very last lap. Mad Riot will try again on Cinders, but they are 2.3 behind Doug now. Mad Riot needs to get past Cinders ASAP if he wants a crack at Doug in B6. You can hear the cars, because the track goes so close together through that section, you can hear the cars going down the straight as you come through there. Up the castle section we go. Mad Riot is going to go for a move on Cinders. What an overtake that is up the inside. Mad Riot was not holding out for anybody. He flew through there. Brilliant stuff from the Williams. So, DMB Super Skills 2.9. Huge retirements here beyond. 2.9 is the gap. We have 2.5 laps remaining. Is DMB Super Skills going to catch up to Theo Tyler? Remember, Theo has that slight front wing damage. He's on old hard compound tyres on 60% now. As the laps go by, it will get harder and harder for Theo Tarnland. Cinders now a second behind Mad Riot, who is trying to chase up to Doug, who's in P6, Nimble in P5, Vicar in P4, but both Red Bulls doing a fantastic job. 1.6 is the gap. I think you're right, but it's what he does when he gets to him. I said he was going to catch up onto the last lap. I think it's going to be the lap before that. An intriguing race with highs and lows. A lot of lows, though, I must say. So 1.4 now. Down at the DRS straight, we head on to lap 25 of 26, and the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in real life is starting in 10 minutes, so we will just finish in time. That is a yellow flag. That is Kevin Gamer. That is off at turn 2. And that is Theo Tarnland and DMB Super Skills. And he has caught up to him. He's got that DRS. In fact, he's caught him at the perfect time, because if he waits him, he can get him down towards turn 1 onto the last lap, and that will be the perfect time to overtake. DMB Super Skills going for that race victory. So we're on board with the leaders. 1.5 laps remaining. Here in Baku, through the castle section we go. Theo will do everything to hold off that Red Bull. Theo saving battery. He is. He knows what he needs to do. Super Skills also got quite a bit of battery in the tank. And there we go. And you can see how much quicker Super Skills is through the corners as we come in towards turn 16 and the start of sector 3. Into the slipstream of Theo Tarnland. Here comes the Red Bull. This will be it to take the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix on the very last lap. Here he goes, burning that battery. He's going to get that DRS. Here he goes, rear wing open, moves over to the right hand side, and Super Skills is in to the lead. He is your race leader on lap 26 here in Baku. It's been an incredible strategy from start to finish. His pit stops, his tyres, his race, everything has been nothing short of perfect for DMB Super Skills, and he is on the verge of taking home his first race victory here in round 15. I'm not sure Theo will have the tyres to stay with him, especially being at 60%, 67% hards. That is a yellow flag again. And that is Doug and Nimble. They've gone off. No! Doug and Nimble have gone off. What has gone on? Mad Riot has gone through. Doug is into the wall on the very last lap. They are dropping down. And why, oh why, did they make a move there and throw away so many points? Unbelievable. So into turn 16. Yes, Alvaro Maggi must have been like, what are you doing? And just gone straight through. So DMB Super Skills will come through, and the man that is respected by most, is a tremendous competitor, is here every week, will come through, and he will take his first victory here in Baku. Super Skills wins. Theo Tanland takes P2. Forza Ferrari will come through to take P3. Vicious Vicar and Mad G in the Williams in P4 and P5, quite incredibly. Cinder's also in P6. He does have a time penalty, so he will drop behind Doug. And Nimblecat, who should really be in P5, is now all the way down in P8. And I don't think it was anything to do with himself that caused that either. James Gardner might even get him to the line. DMB Super Skills has definitely done an amazing race. Mad Riot comes through. Cinders. Doug is going to chase him down all the way to the line. And here comes Nimble and James Gardner. Cinders with a big penalty, but Nimble moves back up to P7, potentially up to P6, depending on penalties. But wow, what a race. Yeah, definitely not Theo. We've got 5 minutes till the race starts, till lights out. I've got to go and set up my fire stick. Yeah, sorry, mate. Right, let's get this through quickly. I need to put the stats in. Right, there we have it. Super Skills will take the race victory here in Baku on the top step. What a job he did this morning. And on to the standings. DMB Super Skills with the race win and driver of the day from 7th on the grid. Oh, you've got moment of the day now. Wow. I would say, oh wow, I didn't know. They've updated it for moment of the day. So the Red Bull of Super Skills. I will pick my moment of the day. Phil Townland, Forza, Vicar, Mad G, Doug, Nimble, James Gardner, Cinders, Ifney, NDMV, Kevin Gamer, Yawn, Jabba, Umbra Ghost, Icy, Podge, Bulldog, Matt and TG Rob. Right, brilliant. Right, thank you very much, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy the race. Appreciate it, and I'll see you on the other one.